Good evening. My name is Jacqueline, and I'm hoping that people got on. I had some problems last night with the sound, so I wanted to make sure things were a little better tonight. It was Facebook. It really wasn't me. It was Facebook, but I'm hoping that the sound is better tonight. So I'm not sure if anybody's on. I see some hearts. So I'm hoping that means that you can hear me. If not, send me a message and let me know, because I want to make sure things are right tonight. I'm trying to get my phone to get my comments, so I can see the comments, because I cannot see the comments overhead. But this is the image we're going to work on right here. I just think she's so adorable, and she's from the MyBesties shop. I put a little piece of tape over this so that the image isn't stolen over the internet. And on this image, I did her in 4 inches because I did this square, but tonight I'm doing her, you can see the difference, in 3.5. These are digi images, so you can make them any size you want. So I just wanted to show you that you can make them any size you want. All right, so we're going to get started, and I hope that people are on. I wish I could see my comments, but I cannot. I'm hoping that I can see them in a moment. All right, so tonight I'm going to use Copics, and I'll move these out of the way, but they are adorable images. You have to admit that. So pretty. And I am just turning on my phone so I can see if I can get comments, because I can't see them overhead. So I'm just turning on my phone right here, hoping that maybe I can see them if I turn on my phone. So sorry. All right, so we'll get started while my phone boots up. You know, things never go exactly as you plan. All right, so first, I'm going to just move the tape, but I'm going to keep my hands kind of over this for a moment, and I'm going to move it down here, and I'm going to go ahead and do her face. And I am going to start with my lightest shade. When I do my bestie images, I love the pink cheeks. I just think they're so pretty. So I am going to make her pinky. I'm just making sure my volume's down on my other phone, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. And here we go. And I hope that you guys are all having a wonderful evening. I am having a wonderful Friday. It was, always busy, very busy. And it's so nice of you guys to join me on a Friday night, because I know you might have other things that you'd like to do. But myself, I always love following alive. There we go. I can see you now. Oh, there you go. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Sherry. Oh, I feel so much better now because I can see my comments. And I'm hoping that you can hear me tonight. Last night, my Facebook kept dropping the sound. I have no idea why. I'm just going ahead and doing her skin in the lightest shade just to lay down some color. Normally I would do her face first completely, but I'm trying to, I don't want anybody to steal the image. So I'm trying to lay down some color quickly so that I feel that the image is protected. That's kind of a terrible thing that people are doing, taking images off the internet. So I'm using the E00, and let me see, E00. I know you can't really see that very well. Oh, it looks a little bit blurry. E01. And also I use this E04. I'm just putting the E04 a little bit around her hairline. Now, I don't always use E04. Sometimes I use E11 when I'm doing skin tone. It's actually my favorite is to use E11. So I'm just putting a little bit. Then I'm taking the 01. And I bring that back up in frame. Now I am using a web camera, so I'm not able to just zoom in, but I could lower this if you want me to lower it. So you just let me know. Hi, Sharon. I so appreciate you watching. I did not get a chance to color earlier today, so I feel actually a little bit out of practice, which is crazy because I just colored last night, but I do feel a little bit out of practice. I don't know why. I usually like to color before I go live. You know, nothing like pressure. All right. Her face will look more toned down once I get a little bit more color going on her. And when I get her hair done and her clothing, it really makes the face, it tones it down quite a bit. But at first it does look a little harsh. That's maybe one of the reasons I don't use E4 all that often. I usually use E11 because I like it to look a little softer. But we're going to use some bright colors on her tonight, some intense colors. And so I thought her face needs to stand out just a little bit more than normal. So I'm going back in. Do you want me to, oh gosh, do you want me, you know what? These images are the best. They are just stunning. They are stunning. And they're from MyBesties Shop. Do you want me to lower the camera a little bit? If you do, just let me know, and I will be happy to lower it. I hope you're not hearing my kids upstairs. One's saying no, the other one's saying yes, going back and forth. Sorry about that. And they're not even close in age. One is 17 months and the other is 11 years old. So you can see how fun that is. Oh well, such is life. Actually, I am using the E11. I love it. It's my favorite one to actually use. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. So I hope everybody is having a good evening. Other than watching a live, has anybody done anything really super fun today? I'm going to go to Lark Farm. Sweetheart, not right now. I'll be with you in a few minutes.
But I want to keep my electronics until I go to bed.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm going to go to Lark Farm this weekend, which is a pumpkin place. It's a really nice farm to go to. They have a lot of fun things for kids to do. And so that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So this was the E11. Sorry about that. Was my little one coming down, wanting to keep his electronics. You probably heard him. Quite funny. My camera is going like this. I'm sorry. I think it's vibrating. That's weird. Sorry about that. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Okay. Just kind of doing the cheeks here. And her face will come along. I usually do the face last because I don't like it looking so stark before you before the hair's done. So I know it looks a little stark. And usually I do my face last, but I'm doing it first tonight because I'm trying to do this quickly. I don't want this image lifted. I'm just kind of blending this in. And I'm going a bit darker. A little bit darker. Because I'm going to try to do a little bit reddish hair tonight. So I do want her skin tone a little bit darker. Okay. I'm hoping my camera, I don't know what is up with that. See, it's getting bigger and smaller. Is that happening with you guys too? So this is the E00, just to kind of tone it down just a little bit. And she will look pretty. She will look very pretty. She will be beautiful. When she is done, she will be just beautiful. I promise. And I like to have the pretty pink lips. Yeah, on my screen, the camera is getting bigger and smaller. I don't know what the deal is. This is a webcam that I'm using tonight, so it's, I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this washi tape off. I used washi tape because it won't damage the paper. I sure hope not. All right, so let's get started with all the other pretty colors. I'm going to go ahead and do her, do the sunflower first because I just think it's so pretty. And I want to use some bright colors tonight for the sunflower. I never do exactly the same thing twice when I make cards. So I'm just going in and doing my shading, and you can really follow where the artist has already made shades. See, that's what I'm following along, where there are already lines, and just kind of pulling this out. And I will go over this more than once. I love sunflowers. It's fun. It's kind of funny that we associate sunflowers with the fall. Around here, I'm in Indiana, sunflowers grow during the summer. I don't know if that's like that across the country or just here. I'm not sure. All right, so that was Y38. I'm going to get a tripod. I actually have the camera. I'm trying to let it focus in. That was Y38 and Y35. I'm going to get a tripod for the camera. I just have it kind of rigged up there. I'm really hoping it doesn't fall because it's not really up there correctly overhead. I just kind of finagled it for right now. So when I get a tripod, I think that will help stabilize it a little bit better. But I was worried about the sound yesterday. I live in a rural town, and I did go to we have a Office Max, and they were unable to help me with a microphone that I plug into my phone. So I decided to just use my webcam that I have. So I will get a proper tripod for it. Okay. So here we go. I'm just going, sorry, I get quiet when I'm concentrating. I feel like I'm ignoring you. I don't mean to be. All right, so this is actually called maize, so it's a perfect color for the sunflower, I think. Then I'm going to go in with my YR14 as well. So go back. I go over it a couple of times. I like to lay down a couple of layers. I just think it, it gives it so much more depth and just looks so much prettier. Coloring is just so therapeutic. I love the color. And sometimes I just color pages from a book. Thank you. Oh, there's a sale on too, I believe, today. I noticed that Sherry had posted about a sale on the Digi Images. And Sharon, I don't know if you had gotten that message or not, where you could post the code. Or Dawn might know. So I'm just using my three colors of Y35, Y14, and YR14 rather than Y38. And just kind of little friend flying around. It's that time of the year in Indiana. Hi, Stephanie. Oh, hi, Cynthia. How are you guys tonight? I'm so glad you joined me, especially after last night with no sound. All right, now I'm going to do the center part. And I actually, what I do is I go back around. Can I go back around? I'm going to order the tripod from Amazon, so it should be here by the next time I do a live. And I think that'll stabilize my webcam a little bit better. But I do already think that this is better, I believe, with the sound. I'm just going around. And I'm going ahead and doing the inside. And I'll go over this a couple of times. I'm just going in with E33. I'm just kind of pulling this because I want to, I want it to have some depth, look a little bit more like the middle to pop up. So that's what I'm trying to do. So I want the middle lighter. And I like to have a little bit of the orange pulled in too. I love sunflowers. Oh my gosh. They're just so pretty. And I'm going back in again with my Y35 because I just want to pull this down a little bit. And I'm just doing quick little swipes, flicks, if you were, pulling it towards, instead of pushing it out, I'm pushing it in, I guess, instead of pulling out, because it'll become muddy otherwise with these particular colors. So that's why I'm doing that. Okay. And I might kind of go over this middle. I think I'll use this YR21 in the middle just a little bit. Just a little bit till, yeah. And what I do when I have a sunflower, see, I just poke, because I don't think they're just smooth. See, kind of poke. There we go. And over this just a little bit more. Yeah, just a little bit more. And then I'll be happy with it and I'll move on. All right. That's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. I hope you can see. Copics are pressure. Yeah, so to avoid the leaking, I'm taking both ends off because of the pressure. Otherwise, sometimes you get a glob of ink on your image, and that actually happens to me with my blues. They're really super juicy. I hate using that word. It doesn't sound very nice. But when I use my blues, I often will get a big glob of ink. And after you've colored your image, you really don't want that. And reds, you know, I have had some problems with my reds, and you don't want that. Okay, I'm going to use a green 99, which is olive, right here on my stem, right here. And this is a little stronger colors than I have used in the past. And I do have my markers out. I know. I'm doing it because I just want to protect the image a little bit. I don't want someone, I know it's terrible that people would snap a picture and steal an image. That's just beyond words that somebody would do that. I mean, that really takes a lot of nerve. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do her pants. And I'm just going to move these off to the side a little bit. I think we're getting enough color that the image couldn't be taken. So I am actually going to use B16, B14, and I have a little bit, I have B24 out and my B00. I'm going to start off with this B16, and I'm going to just do her cuff. I'm just going to come in here and do the other side right over here. Now when you're switching back and forth, it is recommended that you put your lids back on. I know that seems maybe a little pointless, but a Copic does recommend that, and you don't want your markers to dry out. Just pulling this through, and these colors are almost the same, but it's okay because I use my lighter blue to kind of put in a little bit of highlight. Now I'm going to go in with my B24. Sometimes I go in with my darker color, and sometimes I go in with my lighter color. It depends on the area that I am coloring. I'm just going where the artist has already, and that's Sherry Baldy. She's the artist. She does a fantastic job. If you've ever looked at her website for these images, my gosh, thousands of images. I don't know how many images. I mean, if I were to just guess, I'd say maybe 3,000. She's just prolific, a prolific artist. To be able to produce that many images, you would have to see the ink just comes right out, and that can get on your paper. That's why I pull off both of my ends. But she is just a prolific artist. Wouldn't it be I don't know, it just would be so amazing to be able to create. I'd love to be able to create images. I'm so thankful that I get to color them. All right, I'm just doing the edges. I'm a little heavy-handed, so I know I'm being a little quiet, but I want to make sure that I don't mess up around the edges. There we go. So I'm trying to be careful, and that was my B24. Oh, fingernail. She has fingernail decals. I never knew that. Yes, I do have a lot of Copics out. I never knew she did fingernail decals. How cool is that? I don't get my nails done. I would love to go get my nails done. I just, you know, when you have little kids, you have very little time. Little time, little money for yourself. But boy, what I wouldn't give to go get my nails done. And I take the decals with me. Has anybody ever gotten their nails done with the decals? I just think that would be so cool. Oh my gosh. Is it the little girl images? What are they? Love them. She even had, okay. Dawn, have you ever gotten your nails done with the decals? Oh. Bestie cookies. Oh my gosh. Now that would be fun, because really you could have edible art, right? You could have it. Oh my goodness. Now this is lighter, I know, but I'm going to go in here a couple of times because I was trying to make the left side a little darker than the right side. And I will go back in again. And actually, what I'm going to do is take this marker, like this, kind of marry them together, and just kind of, so I'm mixing the colors, mixing my colors a little bit. And going in. I have about 120 Copics. I don't have all the colors, and if you don't have all the colors, you can make do by tapping your tips together and blending colors yourself. And so that's what I'm doing. So I'm going down the middle. When I do jeans, I always go down the middle. My jeans are always lighter in the middle. So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to go in and put a little bit more shading in. But I just look at my jeans, how the color is on them, and that is how I do my images. And so it might not be how other people do their images, but it is how I do mine, because I feel like that makes the jeans look a little bit more realistic. So see, it just kind of a lighter color. It almost acts as a like your blender. This is the blender, the zero, but I honestly do not like to use my blender. I feel like it bleaches out the color. Now other people, they use it all the time, and they do, you know, it's fantastic. But for me, it just, I don't know, I don't like using it. So I'm going back in, just shading a little bit more, just kind of making it look a little bit more rounded. You know, in bits and pieces, the images look a little odd, but once you get all the color laid down, I just think it just comes together. So now I'm going to take my darker B24 and just do this little pocket. And you could probably do that in a different color. I don't know. It's just how I do it. Now sometimes I go back in at the end and lay down a little bit more color. Now when I do patches, I like them to be like a different color than what you're doing with the clothing. So I'm going to use this G29, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to just trying to do the little squares, and maybe I should have done down the middle of it first. And then I'm going to take this Y04, and I'm going to go down here and just kind of make a cross, see, which is what the pattern is there. And there's not a lot of space there to do any shading. So now I'm going to do her wheat, and with the wheat here, I'm going to use E13, which is light suntan. And just see, it's around like a sash, maybe like hanging from her belt. And it's quite intricate. So I'm just trying to go in here. Now when I did the image at 4 inches, you have a little bit more room to shade. And I did actually do a little bit of shading, but here it's quite small. So I might go back into it. We'll see. I go back and forth. You know, there are no, I always say this, people probably get tired of hearing me, there are no marker police. So make your images the way you want your images to be. Okay. All right, so I am going to go ahead and work on her shirt, and I am going to use, let's see, I am going to use YG03 and YG06, and I'm also going to use my Y13, Y08, and Y06. So let me move this out of my way a little bit. I had a glass mat down, but it was too, like putting off too much light, and I didn't want to blind everybody. Reflecting too much light. You know, when you're doing these things, you have to think about all sorts of things. I wish I lived in a bigger city. I would have went and gotten a tripod that was a little bit more stable, because this is so weird how it's going big and small. Okay. So this is, as you see, it's a really small space. So I am still highlighting, but just in the center. And I'm going to go right here on the edge. And right here on the edge to kind of give it a rounded effect. And then go back. And see, I did a big no-no. I left my lids off. You really aren't supposed to do that. Okay. There we go. So now I am going to go in. I'm going to kind of go back and forth. And I am going to do this little fringe right here. So I'm just doing it a little bit darker. And I'm sorry, I am a page turner when I'm working. So I hope I don't make you seasick. I'd love to be by the sea right now. It's pretty cold right here. You know, Indiana has the kind of weather where one day you need air conditioning, and then the next day you need your heater, and then you're fine, and it just cycles that way until winter comes, and then it gets really cold, and then it warms back up again, and you have a cycle of cold, hot, cold, hot. People often say, if you don't like the weather, just wait a day or two because it will change, and it sure does. It's so funny. I don't remember. Well, I've lived in a lot of states. I just don't remember any place I've lived at have such temperature extremes. And then I'm going to go back in again. I'm trying to do this fairly quickly. There we go. And see, it gives it some nice dimension when you shade and do your low lights and highlights. Okay. And I see I missed a piece of her arm. Do you see that? So just so I don't forget, I'm going to go back in here and just kind of do her arm because I don't want to not do it. Usually people catch that and they say, hey, you missed the arm. Oh, you can, we can still see what you're doing. That's the way it is in Tennessee too. I imagine so. We're about 4 hours from Nashville. So I don't know where you're at in Tennessee, but we're about 4 hours. Nashville, if you want to go someplace and to go out and have some fun, Nashville's the place to go when you live where I live. Or you could go to St. Louis. So I am just, and I already messed up a little bit because, see, I'm going to have 2 yellow stripes together, but there are no mistakes in art, so we're just going to go with it. Yeah, I love Nashville. There's a hotel there that I have gone, like maybe it's the Old Opry Hotel. Go and walk around sometimes when I've been there. Okay. I sure hope you can't hear all that noise upstairs. My kids usually are not running around like that, but tonight they seem to be like running all over the place. I don't know what the deal is. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in and do the yellow. I am going to actually use all 3, Y13, Y08, and Y06, because I have a little bit more space to work with now than I had previously. And I do have 2 stripes that that are close by each other, but that's okay. It's fine. Oh, you can't hear them? Good. good because, oh my gosh, I think it's going to be lecture time when I get off of this live. You know how kids are. They talk to you when you're on the phone and all sorts of things because they think that you cannot tell them no. But you know what? You can. Actually, I don't really talk on the phone too much, but my kids like to push the limits. I think that's just a kid thing. All right, so I'm going to do her stripes. Now see here, when I did her 4 inches, there's a lot more room to work. That, you know, you can see the difference. So much more room to work and do these stripes. So I'm going to do my best here because I was trying to do every other one. I hope my head's not in the way. I'm sure you don't want to see that. There we go. And there's a little bit of, yeah, there we go. I'm going to go in with my yellow. And I have a blog where I have the colors that I'm using written down. So you can always check the colors out if I'm going too fast or it's not clear enough. Because I do realize that I'm probably going a little fast. I'm going back again. Yes, I love Digis because you can resize them to the size you need. And the reason I went smaller is because of my die. See, this is a die cut, and it has the stitched. And I wanted it to fit this die cut. This is the largest oval I have. So that is why I went smaller. I prefer the 4-inch, but when I do the 4-inch, that's great when I'm going to cut the square out myself and do my own matting with squares. That's great. But since I wanted to use a die, I had to go smaller. So that is the great thing about Digi Images. Absolutely the best thing there is about, you know, Digis. Plus low storage. I mean, you save them on your hard drive, and you can have hundreds and hundreds of them, and I'm sure that Sherry would love you to buy hundreds and hundreds of them, and the cost is reasonable. So that's why I like Digis. I have liked Digis for a long time because of that very thing. So I am using this, let me see, actually, I do not think that, yes, the neutral N4 gray, and I'm just using that right here on the soles. See right here on her soles, and I'm going over it twice. See, I'm just doing the edges, and now I'm going to do it, see, a 3rd time. So I'm laying on, now I'm doing it a 4th time. I'm laying on the color there, and then I'm just going to do, see, a quick, kind of a quick flick right here, because I see, I want it to have a highlight and the shade. So you can even do it again, see, on the edges. That way you have some depth there. Okay, and now for her shoes, her boots, I am using E74 and E71 because I want it to look, I was hoping it would look like suede. That was my goal. And then I am going to use my grays on the ribbon and this shoelace. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my W2 and I'm just doing her shoelace because I don't want to color over it. So I'm just going ahead and doing the shoelaces right there. All right. I wanted this, like I said, to look a little bit more like suede, like Uggs, I think they're called. That's what my students wear all the time. You know, I teach international students. And one of my students, he had on slippers. He thought that they were regular shoes. He didn't realize that they were like bedroom shoes. Like, you might want to change those because they'll get soaking wet. All right, so I'm just kind of pulling it, and I'm going to go over this again. I'm just kind of pulling it. I hope my head's not in your way. I'm sorry. Oh, Christmas besties are the best. That's what I think. I love Christmas. Actually, I love fall. Fall images, not fall weather. I do not like fall weather. I better correct myself there. I do not like. I love summer, but I love the Christmas images. Oh my goodness. I just love them. I have specific images that are just my favorite. I love things with coffee and tea in them. Oh my goodness. And the girls like in the bathtub. I don't know why. I love those. Okay. See? There we go. All right. So now I'm going to work on this pretty ribbon, and I'm using my warm grays, and I'm actually going to take my W2. Well, actually, I'm going to take my W0 and do this little, like right in here. There we go. And I'm going over my shoelaces again. Okay, so now let's take our W2 and do right in here. Just where you see where the ribbon is kind of looped. And you know it's going to be a little bit darker. And I'm just trying to lightly do it. Just a little bit, because I do like to try to get my mid-tone and my highlight in there. So W0. Pull it down. Oh, these images are just so adorable. I think I like the little girl images because I grew up in the Army and we moved all the time. And I was only allowed to have what would fit in a box. So I had just minimal amount of toys and books and, you know, just whatever could fit in one box, because we often had to pack and leave very quickly. When I grew up in the military, you didn't get a lot of warning when you moved. It was very quick. Now you get a lot more notice, and you stay places a lot longer than when I was growing up. So I did move a lot. So I think that's why I like these little doll images, because I just didn't get them very often. Now see, I feel like, see, it gives a good, you know, shading really helps to make it look like it's rounded and it has dimension. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do her hair. Jacqueline and I debated. One of the besties in her said she's on a Santa sack. Ah, Sharon, you're not supposed to tell anybody that story. Oh my goodness. I'm going to look really foolish because what I thought it was, I'm sure it wasn't. Oh my goodness. Thanks a lot. And just trying to do a bit of the highlights on her hair. And honestly, I don't think I ever do the hair the same twice. Oh my gosh, Sharon, I can't believe you're telling people that story. You told them that I thought it was a bathtub. Oh my gosh, Sharon. Oh my goodness. I did think it was a bathtub. I did. I truly did. I did. But then Sharon said it was a Santa sack, and I said, oh, I see that now. I got it. Oh my goodness. We all make mistakes. Some people think that pumpkins are tomatoes. So we all make mistakes. Oh my goodness. I can't believe she told you guys that story. Oh. She flustered me so much I turned off my Facebook. Yeah, I thought she was in a bubble bath, in a bathtub. And I did do I'm not even going to show you the image. I already had made a card out of it. And I I colored my bathtub, as I always do, kind of a pearly white. But that would go with a Santa's hat, could be a pearly white. I will probably go back over that image and change it from a bathtub to a hat now. Oh my goodness. Okay. I usually do brown hair, but I just felt like because of the sunflowers that the kind of reddish hair, I don't know, would just be pretty. So I'm going back over it a little bit. I'm just trying to follow where the hair is, and where the braid, see, kind of comes together, and your hair would be hearts and happy faces. Oh my goodness. Hearts and happy faces. Oh my goodness. You know what? What does it mean when somebody puts an unhappy face when you post a card, or a shocked face? Does that mean they don't like your card? Because yesterday I got all these shocked faces on my card, and I thought, does that mean they don't like my card? I don't know. I was so confused. I'm not showing that card, no, because I made it a bathtub, so no, I am not showing that card. Anyway, I would have to leave the camera, which would be ever so unprofessional, so I'm not doing that. Okay. Now, I always go back over my hair a little bit more when I get done with my image, because I feel like once the ink dries that the hair just looks, I don't know, like it needs a little bit more. So I will be going back over her hair just a bit. See, I think she's coming together nicely. See, her face looks so much better once you get the hair and the clothing and everything on there. I think it pulls it together better. Now I am going to do her hat to match her shirt. See? And so I'm going to do this little ribbon. And it's a small space again. So I am going to take, I've got ink all over my hands. See, that is how much they bleed. So I'm going to take my Y13, and I'm actually going to just use 2 colors because, see, it's such a small area here. I'm just going to get in there like that on the edge and come in here quickly, and then go over here again. And then, okay. And then I'm going to make sure I put my caps back on, the correct markers, because I put them on the wrong one the last time I did a live, and it was interesting to be using colors that weren't right. Okay, now I'm going to do her hat. And I'm going to use my Y06 and my Y03. And then, where's it at? I have a little bit of my green right there. So I'm going to do the edge here first. Yep. Helps to put your markers in the right direction. And just doing the edge. Anyway, I can't wait to go to this lark farm. We were supposed to do it tomorrow, but it's 70% chance of rain. So we're doing it on Saturday or Sunday instead. It'll be so nice for the kids. I don't know about our 17-month-old, how much she'll enjoy it, but the 11-year-old, he should really enjoy it. Should be so much fun. They have all sorts of activities like a climbing wall, hay rides, animals, just all sorts of fun fall things. And I just can't wait. I feel like I need a break from everyday life. It's just going to be so fun. Are you laughing at me again? Supposed to read your comments when you're being teased. You know what? That's the beauty of Facebook. You can just ignore being teased. Yes. You know what? I'm a teacher. I'm really good at ignoring like things, comments and things that my students say and do. I act like I don't hear them until the right moment when I need to rein the students in. You know, I used to teach at a prison, and some of the comments you would hear from the prisoners were quite interesting. They're super, super observant of things. Notice every little thing. So I'm using Y27 and Y24. They notice every little change that you have, like from day to day. I used to hear all sorts of lovely comments from them. I also used to teach high school, which was a lot like teaching at the prison. And I know that sounds awful, but it's true. College is so much, I don't know, easier. Like, I wouldn't say easier, but just, gosh, the students are a different, the maturity level is a little bit higher in college than it was in high school. Okay, so I'm just kind of doing this green, and this is a darker green like I did here. And then on her hat, right up here at the top, I go in here and put this YG06 right here. There we go. I think her hat looks good. I think it has some dimension there. Now, for the flower, I am going to go in, and I actually am tying the flower in with this bow here. And so I am using my RV23, and I have RV11 and RV13. So I'm just kind of, that's a very small space. So you're not going to be able to do a lot with shading or anything like that. It's tiny. See, but I like this pink. I love pink on these images. And for her center of her, right here, just going in with the green. I think the green almost looks brown. I don't know why. Okay, so I am going in on this ribbon, and what I actually did is I used BV08, see, for these little dots and the stripes. So I'm using my 23, my RV23, and I know that this is kind of a bright pink. I don't know, it just looks cheerful, so I like it. So I'm just doing this kind of edge right over here. Just a little bit. Right here. And I'm not really worried about getting pink where the stripes are at, because this is a strong color, and I'm able to color over the top if necessary. So I'm just going to try to pull this through a little bit. And just pull it down. See, now this I was pulling down, see, instead of pushing backwards like I've done. And now I'm using my R11. Just pulling it a little bit more. It's going in here. And I will go over this a couple of times. And I think it actually sort of looks like a butterfly. Maybe it is a butterfly. Maybe it's not a bow like I think, since I'm not good at telling the difference between bathtubs and... Oh, it's her favorite color. Oh, I love pinks. I'm a girly girl. Although I don't feel girly girl. But I am a girly girl. But I've done some macho things. I was in a heavy helicopter unit when I was in the active duty Army Guards, which is full-time, like full-time guards, which is like being in the Army. So I have done some pretty things that other women might not have done, but I have certainly enjoyed it. Okay, so now I'm going in with the BV08, and I'm doing these little spots right here. I just think they're so pretty. Now, I'm going to try to do the stripes. It was much easier on my 4-inch image than it is on my little tiny image. Oh, I hear a helicopter going overhead. That's never a good sign. We live couple of miles from the hospital. So I'm trying to do, see the edging? Just going very, sorry I get quiet when I concentrating. There we go. Everyone just thinks it's such a pretty image. Oh my gosh, I love the detail on these images. I just love them. There isn't anything about them that I don't love. Okay, so I am going to use BV02 and BV00 for the grapes. Although truly, there's not a lot of room to do a lot of different colors in here. But what I try to do is just do the bottoms. You should write a book. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm an English teacher and I have so many books started, but none of them finished. A dream. And so I'm just lightly going over these. See, and so that gives me kind of a highlight and a low light on them. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not. But see, it does give it a bit of a highlight and a low light. Oh my gosh, those wildfires in California, how awful. One of my really good friends lives in San Diego. I always worry about her. I lived in Miami when the swamp area, the Everglades, was on fire, and oh my gosh, it was on fire for months and months and months and months, and all that smoke all the time. It was just It was horrendous. Just all the homes and all. It's just so sad. I just, my heart aches for all these people. So I'm going over it a second time. Just kind of lightly tapping there. And that way it does have some highlight. Now I'm going to do the pumpkin. This is definitely a pumpkin and not a tomato. Wouldn't you say, Sharon? Oh, Cindy, yes, I love them all. I just love them. So I am using a Y27 and it's YR27 and YR24. I love all the image. I have been a long time MyBesties fan. I had already been getting them before being a DT. I love them. I just love them. Okay. So I'm just trying right where you see where the artist Sherry has already done highlighting. So highlighting and shading. See, she's already got heavy marks, so that's where I'm trying to follow. Okay, I'm kind of building this like instead of top to bottom, like almost bottom to top. My kids upstairs are in for a big lecture when I get done. They are stomping and doing all sorts of stuff. Okay, I'm using kind of a hodgepodge of colors for my greens here. So I have green 99, G99, G05, G17. Those are greens. And I'm using a little bit of this YG03 and YG06. So I'm using a combination of greens for all my leaves. I kind of thought this was fun to have these sort of in different colors. I just thought it was fun. So let me go in here, and I just kind of, so on this one side, what I did is I went in a little bit lighter than I did on, like half the leaf I did a little lighter than the other half. I just thought that was kind of fun on these images. They are very whimsical, so I thought it's fun to be a little whimsical with them. And then when we get done, we'll build a card together. So on this side, see, I'm going a little bit darker, different color. So I was kind of doing half and half. I just thought it was sort of fun. And you could just do it normal and do your shading and do it normal. I just thought it was sort of fun to have it be two-toned. And there are no marker police. You can do what you want. I just thought it was kind of fun to play with it. To do whatever you want when you are coloring. If we all did the same thing, wouldn't it be boring? If everybody did the same thing, what point would it be in watching lives and things? Because you wouldn't need to. You could just watch one person, and that's that. How boring would that be? It's just like teaching. Everybody's got a different style. All styles serve a purpose. Yes, art is in the eye of the beholder. Oh, I'm teasing Sharon. I probably shouldn't do that. I'm sorry. But she colored pumpkins. She thought they were tomatoes. I thought a sack was a bathtub. So, you know, we all see different things. And back to my YG03. I heard that I sounded like a Dalek last night. I wasn't so pleased because, you know, I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, and I wouldn't want to sound like a Dalek. Actually, Doctor Who aired for the first time on the 23rd, which is my birthday. And I think I probably have seen every episode of Doctor Who. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. But somebody who shall remain nameless, I don't know if they're watching, said I sounded like a Dalek last night. It's like, oh my goodness. It's not what I want to sound like. I'm doing the stem because I forgot about the stem. And so I am going to go back in just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just want to add a little bit to the hair. So I always feel like after it dries, that for myself, that I need a little bit more shading. So that's what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, just a little touch. Exterminate. Exterminate. So true. Exterminate. I was fascinated with that show when I was a little kid. We used to visit our family in England, and I got to watch it before see anybody in America ever heard of Doctor Who. And I fell in love with that show when I was a little kid. Oh, so now I'm aging myself. But oh well. Okay, now in this image, see, she came together. Oh, let's see one more spot. She came together quite lovely, I think. I missed the spots up here on the top, the bubbles. She came together quite lovely. On this image, I did more of a background. And on this image, I have not. So I'll kind of decide as we go. I actually have already made my mat, my card. I had already done my card and cut my layers. So this is what we're working with. And these are the colors that inspired me, except for the pink. I did add the pink. See, and I wanted to use these two dies. So that's why I made her smaller, because I was really wanting to use these colors. I just thought they were so pretty. And so I actually, and I didn't know whether to use those or not. See, I keep everything in a bag when I'm working on a project. So I see there's white right in here. See how there's white? There's white kind of in the background. So that's why I didn't do like this kind of background with the distress inks. See? Like that. So what do you think? No distress inks or distress inks? So I let you decide. Because this paper is pretty busy. It's beautiful paper. I love this paper. It's an old paper pack. I was telling Sharon today, my gosh, I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth, but I'm like running out of paper, which is really weird because I thought I was a big paper hoarder. So do you think I should use distress inks on the background, or should I do see something I need to finish, or not? What do you think? And I am just going to like kind of ground her a little bit, because we don't want her floating in the air. That would be silly. There we go. Sorry. There we go. So do you think I should use distress inks or just assemble as is? I don't see anybody. I know there's a delay. There's a delay. So I will start assembling this. And if you want me to use distress inks, then you say so and I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it, because I thought the whites were, I like the white. So I'm just using glue. Some people use that tape, the tape runner, but I love this glue because it gives you a little bit of time to move your image around, your paper around. And I have just found that when I gave cards to people, and I turn it, see, upside down. When I gave cards to people, that the ink, not the ink, the tape runners would dry out. Helps to have your flowers pointing up in the right direction. I do think it's beautiful, beautiful paper. Oh my gosh, so pretty. You know, you buy a paper pad, and then you think afterwards, why didn't I buy two? That's what I'm thinking about this paper. It actually had some of the most beautiful sunflower paper. Oh my gosh, and I used it up immediately. And I wish I still had that sunflower paper. But this paper here is just, here's a bigger piece of it. I just think, oh my gosh, I just think it's so pretty, isn't it? Just beautiful. So I'm going to lay her down like this. And then I have my sentiment, which says you can never have too much happy. But you can't. You can't have too much happy, can you? As is. Okay. We're going as is. And I already matted this. The reason I did that is I thought Friday night you might not want me to hold you up forever. Otherwise I would have cut it in front of you. So, and then I'm going to actually pop this up. You know what is really good to move my glass mat, because now see I have this nice square and it lets me kind of stay in frame. So I think that's helpful. So I'm going to pop this up a bit. And I just wanted to, I thought this was so pretty. These two dies did not go together. I just got mine all out to see which would fit. I just thought it was so kind of delicate. And see, it didn't bleed through too much. The blues, oranges, and reds are what bleed through the most often on your marker paper. My little dog is down here by my feet, coming in to say hi. See, I was able to slide that over just a little bit. Oh my God, I just think so pretty. I love it. I love these images. Really, it was really hard for me to decide when we very first got the images which one to make first, because I just love them all. It's so nice to work with with images that you love. And really, here's the site, MyBestiesShop.com. You should really check it out, because just to see all the incredible images. Oh my gosh. Like I said, Sherry Baldy is just prolific with her drawing. That's the only thing I can say. She is just prolific. So I'm just doing my tape so I can pop it up. And what I do, and I know I'm like a broken record, I always put a few dabs of glue, because like I said, when I have seen cards that my friends keep, after a year, the adhesive was drying out and the cards were coming apart. And so now I put glue on them so they don't come apart. And it says you cannot have too much happy. And I thought I would just put it right here. And I matted it the same way. Then I have one more thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. I used it on the other card, but I think this card just doesn't really seem to need it. So and I have one of those ATG guns. I don't like it. I've had that thing for years and it has never worked right for me, so I don't use it. I think they're like defective, because everybody I see that has them, they don't seem to work very well. Here we go. Yes, this is doll 5. They're all a different number, and they're all just, oh my gosh, so adorable. Okay, so you can never have too much happy. Too much happy. And then I do have these, but I just don't think it needs it myself. And the other idea I had, but I, again, don't think it needs it. On this card, see, I used these little pieces of wood and colored them. But again, I don't know. I could do that. See, I have them in my little project folder. See, I could put them and I could color them, and they are quite pretty. I have several different ones. It only takes a moment to color them. I don't know. What do you think? Should I add? See, I could add them right there or not. See, I did add them on this image here, but this paper is busier. So I don't know. What do you think? Add or not add? See, I had them as butterflies on this image. So what do you think? Put 3 on the oval. Oh, over here? I don't know if they'll fit on the oval. See, I don't think they'll fit. What do you think? Like that? Put 3 on the white oval. See, when I color them, I don't think they'd look good myself with that. I mean, I don't have to color them, but let me show you. What I do is I just take my marker, this end here, and see, you can just color them any color you want. It just takes the ink, it just sucks it right up. So let me just show you. Like that. See, and then I'll color them. I'll let you see, because it only takes a moment. I love these little pieces of wood. They're so cute, so easy to work with, to add a little bit of embellishment. And you can make these any color you want. Previously on a live, I used my like embossing powder and put on and made with my teacups. I made teacups. They just came out so pretty. See? No gems. Oh, you said gems. Ha 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 ha. I'm not showing you that bath. See? I could add these, like, I don't know, like that. See, I think that's kind of pretty. Or, oh, you think I should add the gems to the white gems? I don't know. Where would I put them? I don't like the great big ones. So like this. I can take these back off because I haven't really glued them down. So don't like, oh my God, she's ruining her image. You know what? Every time I get done with an image, I do something nerve-wracking, something on my background. And I'm not doing that tonight. I'm not going to do something crazy. No. Oh, I haven't glued these down. I'm just kind of playing with them. So what do you think? Gems on oval, not wood. Okay, no wood. Move the wood out. Should I add the gems? I'm always in trouble. Gems on oval, not wood. Okay. Yep. Gems, yes. Gems, no, because I can take them right back off because they're not really stuck down. So a yes or no. A yes or a no. I know there's a little delay. A yes. Here, let me put that back down there. A yes or a no. Just one. One yes, one no. Okay, I'm going to take them back off. I'm going to take that as a no on the gems. All right. Actually, I kind of like these little tiny ones. So guess what? I'm going to go ahead and put a few of the little teeny tiny ones on. That's my birthstone right there. So they're so pretty. There we go. There we go. Gems, yes. Okay. No, 3 or 5 randomly on the oval looks lovely. You know what? I'd have seen your comments if I would have scrolled up. Okay. Here's my card for the night. Right here. I do think the paper is lovely. The image, I mean, it's just, they're so beautiful. I'm not just saying that. I love them. I just love them. I love them all. There isn't a one that I don't love. I just love them. So I'm just kind of showing you. There's such a variety of them. They're so cute. So cute. This is one of the images where I went a little crazy, but whatever. So you can see, I do love them. They're adorable. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I had so much fun, and I'm so glad that my volume stayed on and that you joined me, and I thank you. And you guys have a wonderful night.